Hello friends. So in the last video we learned a little more about the real valued functions, and we also saw some very simple examples of them. In this video we are going to watch what are the operations on real valued functions. So when I say operations and I say real functions, we need to make one thing very clear. So I said that a function is real valued or a real valued function when the domain and codomain are both subsets of real numbers. So let us say that a function f, let us say that this happens to be a real valued function. Then it means that it is taking the elements from a subset of real numbers into real numbers. So x here is a subset of real numbers. So I am generally saying subset because I don't know if all the elements which f can deal with. So for example, if I am saying the function sine inverse, so sine inverse can only take values in certain range. If you give it values out of that particular interval, it will not have any images. So that function is not defined for anything outside of that. So in that sense, we are restricting ourselves to a subset of real numbers when we talk about all the real valued functions. We do not want to say that the function can take all real numbers as its domain. Sometimes some might be included. So that's why we are saying a subset of R, subset of real numbers. So if this function f is taking real numbers to real numbers, where x is a subset, then the images are all real numbers. So we know that with real numbers we can do all sorts of operations. We can add them, we can subtract them, we can multiply them, we can also divide them if the denominator is not 0. So in that sense we can also create some operations on these functions. So suppose that there is an element x and this element lies in the domain. Then it means that the image of x, that is f of x, will be in the set of real numbers. So if we are having two such images of two such functions, say g is another function, it is also defined on the same domain and codomain, and it has some different definition. So maybe f of x is some real valued function, g is another real valued function over the same domain and codomain. Then the elements, that is the images of the elements from the domain, are both real numbers. So f of x and g of x are both real numbers. So we can add these two elements, we get another real number. Then we can multiply, we get another real number. If g of x is not equal to 0, then we can divide them and we can get another real number. So we can perform all these basic operations on real numbers. In this sense, we realize that for all elements in the domain, we can perform these operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, even division. Then why not we try to define a function which satisfies this for all elements in the domain. So generally it is true for such functions. So if f is a real valued function and g is a real valued function with this given domain and codomain, then if all their images can be added, subtracted, multiplied and divided, then there is a function which we can define which will satisfy the same things. So let us see what they are. So as I said, we are going to take two functions f and g. So I said f and g are two real valued functions where f is taking the elements from x to real numbers and g is taking the elements from the set x to the set of real numbers, where x happens to be a subset of the real numbers. Now I want to say that the function f plus g is also a well-defined function. So let us see that. What it means is this particular function f plus g is also taking the elements from x to r. That's it. For all the elements in the domain, this holds true. So don't think of it like f is getting operated with x, then it's not like the distributive law at all. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is if these two functions are real valued, then the sum of those functions is also a function which is taking the elements of x into r, and it satisfies this property. That's it. In the same way, it will also satisfy the difference property, the multiplicative property and the division property, but The only restriction, the denominator should not be 0. So let's see the others. So these are the results we get for two real valued functions f and g. So you might be thinking, why are we not taking the domain as real numbers also? So the reason is very simple. Some real valued functions are only defined for a given range of elements. So you can take the example of sine inverse. So we know that the function sine, if you have any basic knowledge of trigonometry, it only gives the values from -1 to 1. So nothing more than that. So the function sine inverse is only defined for the values which lie between -1 to 1. So -1 to 1, the values in between are all real numbers, but -1.7 plus 1.5, those won't be considered and the function won't be defined for them. In that case, we don't need to worry about it at all. So that's why when we say x is a subset of real numbers, we are generalizing it for all real valued functions, because there are many which might be defined only for a certain set of elements in real numbers, not for all. So in this way, we understand these basic operations on real valued functions. So we have the sum of two functions, the difference of two functions, the product of two functions, and the quotient of two functions. And very clearly, I have mentioned that all elements in the domain are considered, but the element which gives us the value of g of x as 0, that is the denominator becomes 0, then this quotient of functions will not be defined. So for all other elements, it's well defined. So in this way, we have operations on functions. So we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.